What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Got another one for you today. Let me see what we got going on here. But first, let me get some housekeeping out the way. Hoodies, t-shirts, coming soon. I'm 5'8", 185 pounds, and I'm wearing a large. I don't know if you can see how it kind of like hugs the sleeves. I know guys love that, especially when we're out riding. We don't want our shirt blowing up. This is the shirts that I picked out. You ain't gonna have that problem. Second, All-American Cycles Stage 2. It's a raffle. I will have more details in about another week or so. It's gonna be $25 entries. Buy as many as you want. We're going to have a closing date on it. I'm gonna run it for about a couple weeks. Let everybody get their chance to win that All-American Cycle Stage 2. Remember, it's gonna be pretty much like the one I had on my bike before. So if you haven't seen it, go watch the previous video. You see how many horsepower we put out with that. Now, let's get to something that I've had a few questions about. Remember, guys, I ride around locally. I meet a lot of people. A lot of people ask me some questions that sometimes, you know, YouTube guys just don't want to ask or whatever. I get a lot of guys over that go to my Instagram and they hit me up with a lot of questions. I'm going to be having one-on-ones with you guys. If you want, we'll figure something out with one-on-ones, especially about a lot of details in a bike, how to set it up, what kind of things you need. If I don't have the answer for you, I'll get with George at All-American, and he'll basically help us all out at the end of the day. But let's get this started. Now, I know you see a lot of pistols. I know it looks very aggressive. I know it looks all this, that, and the other. But this is the new part of life, man. If you're a rider, we've all had a situation or seen a situation where, you know, either somebody needed to defend themselves, or either, you know, you needed to be riding somewhere with just your peace of mind. Peace, okay? Peace. Your peace of mind. It's just this new age, man, that, you know, a lot of the times, you know, you gotta be alert. So, women, please make sure you're paying this video a little bit of attention. I'm gonna try and give you a few tips and tricks. Remember, guys, I'm not a trainer. I am slightly above average when it comes to guns and knowing them. I own a plethora of guns, guys. This is just my motorcycle carry guns that I've been carrying over the years. And I'll start us off from the left to the right, or your left, my right, and we'll go that way. All guns are unloaded, all magazines are here. If you guys even care, I'm going to actually be pulling them out. If you're scared of guns, go ahead and cut the video off at this point. Or just listen. Don't look, just listen. So first and foremost, my everyday carry piece is still, and will be for a little bit, between two guns. I'm a CZ fan. I don't know if you guys know anything about CZ, but CZ is one of these guys. They've been around a long time, but they just started getting into these new polymer frame guns, and they're building them like how they build them, but they're, you know, very, very high competition with Glock and these other manufacturers. Now, every gun you see on this table today, I will trust with my life. That's why pretty much they're all basically almost about the same. I just use them for different situations or different clothing or whatever. So first, Glock 43X, guys, unloaded. Don't worry, I'm not gonna shoot you guys or myself. Glock 43X, let's look at it. This is Glock's full-size grip on a very subcompact gun. This is a 9mm, and this gun does hold 10 rounds plus one in the chamber, and I always carry my secondary backup magazine with me at all times with this gun, just because it does not have a high capacity. Now, female, small frame, small body people, this is a great gun for that, okay? I know you guys go to, maybe you guys have a local gun store, or you guys are one of the people that go to the gun range often, or you might, you know, just somewhere where you can buy guns and buy, you know, ammo and parts and holsters and different things like that. Well, this is my take on everything. If you're paying attention to this table, I only run Kydex holsters. Kydex holsters are very tough, very, very secure. You're gonna hear it click when I lock it in. That's it. It ain't coming out that easy, but when I need it to come out, it's coming out. So listen again, it's in there. I particularly got this holster in this color. I had it custom made. Buddy of mine made it for me. Let me get you guys a little closer. And on this side, yes, he custom made it because I said, you know what looks friendly? What looks least aggressive? And let's say my shirt did happen to fly up. What would they see? Some pink, you know, maybe. And I wouldn't get that phone call where, you know, the cops are looking for you. Now I'm just joking, man. All right, so that's that. Small frame. I'm doing this day to day. I'm just doing for a quick ride. I'm doing something like that. I'm just going to the hangout. I really don't expect problems. Your problems don't always occur at a place. You know, they could possibly occur on your way to somewhere. Women riding at night, especially women, especially at night. Ladies, if you're afraid of guns, I understand. But them ones that ain't, them soldiers, them riders, please always make sure you have it on you. Don't leave it in the bike. It does you no good in the bike when you got to get to it. That's like the guy that carries the gun in the glove box. It does you no good trying to get to it. Scary situations always happen. I just had a female friend the other day get into a situation. She didn't have to pull a gun out or anything, but you know, things started escalating, and you know, she does carry, so she wasn't too worried about it at the end of the day. Remember, guys, these aren't always just confidence builders. Sometimes action has to happen. Now, I've never had to pull my gun out in a situation, thank God, but if I did, I don't pull it unless I'm going to use it. Keep that in the back of your head. Now, even before we go to this next gun, remember, check your laws in your state to see how you can and cannot carry your magazines and stuff like that. So if you're buying in your state, they're going to explain it to you. Glock 43X, he's out of the way. Now, my old school, our old timers, the guys who don't trust and, you know, don't really believe in a smaller caliber like a 9mm. This is my Taurus 856, and I hate to point it at you guys, but as you can see, it's empty. Great gun, lightweight, packs a punch though, man. This is for that old school guy. All my old school fellas, they know exactly what this is. I'm gonna say it's a Saturday night special, man. All my old heads that know what a Saturday night special is, this is a Saturday night special. It's a 38 Revolver. These are the bullets for it. They are pretty hot. I'll explain bullets later at the end of this video, but this packs a punch. Difference is you're only getting 6 to 7 rounds out of something like this. We call these wheel guns, but the same thing all applies. I do have a Codex holster for it. You can't hear it. It's not loud like that one because of how the holster is molded for this gun, but it still does the same thing. It's not gonna come out too easy, but if I need to rip it out of there, remember, you can adjust the retention. I got this one fairly soft. I'll probably tighten it back up. One of those guns that are never gonna fail on you, doesn't need that much maintenance, always ready to rock and roll. Okay, now we're getting into the big guys, and I'm gonna swap these two around. Glock 26. This is one of America's favorite guns. I'm only saying that because this is when you were able to get a compact gun that was easy to kind of carry. It did its job every time. Remember, guys, this is one of those guns that's gonna go bang every time. I swear by Glock. Now, it's very short. You guys can see. Remember, guys, it's empty. I'm pull the trigger. I always do it to let myself know it's empty. I have no finger groove here. It gives me 2, and then I'm off. So back in the day, I did buy. This is a magazine with just a pinky extension on it. I'm not gonna load it, but now I got my pinky extension ready. So this is a 10-round magazine, but it's a double stack. It means it's basically a fatter gun. Some guys like it, some guys don't. The people who swear by it, swear by it. This has never let me down, always going bang. Here we are. And this is called a belt clip. I call it a knife clip. You call it whatever you want. That's for the guy who, all right, well, I'll put it to you like this. If you're gonna use this, first of all, you need to have a decent holster, and you're going to carry it with no trigger guard with nothing. So I'm in here like this. Let me get my pants right. But I'm in here like this, and I'm carrying like this, but it would be inside my pants. So if I ever had to draw it, I'm rocking back, pulling it out, and I'm getting to work. It's just one of those guns that are very reliable. I always put certain guns, I'd put a rubber hose grip on it, just so if you do have sweat on your body, it is getting on here. It is gonna affect the way you pull your gun out and how you shoot it, if you had to. But like I said, pinky extension didn't give me any more rounds. It's just an extender, so I can make sure I'm holding that gun with a good grip. So let's get him on out of the way. But we don't carry him like that. We carry him in a holster anyway. I don't really rock like that. Let's go to one more Glock. Let's get the Glocks out of the way, right? Let's get the Glocks out of the way. All right, so my next Glock is the Glock 23. This is a 40. It's a 40 caliber. The last Glock was a 9mm. This is a 40 caliber. Put it down real quick. It's 13 in the mag. And we got some hot loads in there. Not that you guys probably care, but we'll talk about it. All my Glocks, they come with poor sights from the factory. They come with okay triggers from the factory. This one has been upgraded a little bit. That trigger is a lot lighter and a lot softer. There is no, if you guys know anything about guns, I'm gonna just get off topic. There's a wall, okay? There's creep and then there's a wall. Once it hits that wall, we're ready to go. This trigger is very, very light. In my opinion, guys, don't carry a gun everyday use gun with a very light trigger. Just because it's one of those guns, I mean, there comes a time do you have to make a decision. If you're covering the trigger and you're nervous, you're gonna squeeze it a lot easier. Just me. Another Kydex holster, a little bit more old school of a holster. This one is usually inside the waistband. Now this is for the bigger guy who has a bigger hand and wants a full purchase. When I say purchase, that just means a full grip of the gun. So he's carrying it like that. He's here with it, or however you guys decide to carry inside, outside. I'm always the inside guy, inside holster type guy. But this is boom, boom, boom. Gets the job done every time. It's still a Glock. It's still gonna work. Magazine over here, clear it. This does have night sights on it. I carry this for a few different reasons. If I'm going out of town, this might be one of those guns I carry with me. And all of a sudden, it's become like a secondary gun to me. I mean, it's never first anymore, but it used to be. Now, these last two are big brother and little brother. These are CZ P10C and P10S. I'll explain. This is the bigger version of this gun. This is the one you carry riding around. This is the one I carry going a little bit of a distance. I gotta show you guys. I gotta show you. Mags with extensions on them. I'm going to put them in the guns now. All right, both of these guns are unloaded. The triggers are already pulled. There's no mag in there. Lock it back. We'll close it back down. We'll squeeze trigger. Put that down. We'll grab the other one. Same thing. Trigger's already pulled back. Same thing here. So it's giving me the Glock 26 vibe. There's no where to put your pinky. But on the magazine, like I said, guys, I did add the extension. All right, so it was this is a 12-round mag plus an additional 4. So now we got a 16-round mag. That's for the short one. For the big dog, we had a 15-round mag and we added 4, so now we're at 19. And then plus the 1 on each one in the chamber. I always ride with 1 in the chamber. So this is my full size setup. It does have a light on it, and this is because sometimes it's a bedside gun as well. I do have a nice, some people call it skateboard tape of a grip. So I do have sweaty hands at times, and I do shoot this gun a lot, so I did make sure I just put it on there. It's cheap, it's nothing. Just so when I'm out here shooting, I'm not catching any fatigue, I'm not getting any slip, I'm not getting any issues. But that's for this gun. Remember, this is how it looks. Battle ready, okay? CZ P10C. C means it's the compact version of the P10, okay? And that's just how it's set up. So if I'm on long distance ride, hey, it's there. This is how it's riding with me. Sometimes I'll say, no, I'm not gonna do that. Nighttime, okay, nighttime specific, I'll be riding with this. Out of town, I always just want a few extra max. Not to say that I think I'm gonna get anything. I don't have any enemies, guys. I don't have any problem. But at the same time, I do want as many rounds as I can get in a setup like this. Remember, smaller guns, guys, if you ever get into something, God forbid, you might not be counting your rounds. You might not be that kind of shooter. You might not be that kind of person, especially ladies. You know, you shoot to get safe, and I'll call it that. So CZ P10S 9mm. The big brother is also 9mm. Guys, it's not loaded. I would have to actually rack it after I put this magazine in there. I'm not gonna do that. It's going right back in the holster. So we got six pistols here, right? And I've shown you what I like to carry, why I like to carry, what I'm most comfortable with. All of these, you guys do notice they do have Kydex holsters on them. I will not run a gun without a Kydex holster. All my guns have Kydex holsters. Now, let's get back to your first time buyer, first time shooter, first time everything. Guy, a gun like this, these are all around similar prices, okay? So you're gonna go from $500 to $600 on all of these guns. I don't consider that a very expensive gun. I have some guns that are very, very expensive that I will never actually carry with me for several reasons. The first reason, I don't want to beat it up. These guns go through a lot. They get sweaty, they get rusted. You have to keep them clean, you know, but they're reliable to the point where I know if I just got rained on, I'll clean it up later. I know it's gonna work for another, you know, couple of months after being wet, even if it has a little rust on it. Now, what you have to watch out for, if you get rust on your gun and it gets in that slide, this is the slide, guys, and it gets down in this groove, it might get stuck, it might not shoot. I keep my guns decently maintenance. I can look at them and tell. I mean, this one gets the most abuse, guys. It does get the most abuse. It will get the most wear. It will get the most if there comes a time to getting rust. And it has a little flavor on there right now, okay? But that's sitting in the holster, getting sweated on, getting rained on, you know, all those different things. And I take this gun everywhere. It never gets a day off. So those are the reasons. Now, let's go to rounds. Let's go to range. You get a gun like this, either one, any kind of caliber, whatever you like. I won't go into the calibers and all those different things right now. But if you get this, I mean, this needs to be taken to the range before you start carrying it. You need to see how it acts. You need to see how you need to be holding it when you're shooting it, and get yourself at least 2 boxes of rounds through it. So at least 100 rounds needs to go through this gun before you take it out. First of all, you need to be able to think about it this way. You have never heard a gunshot close range without ear protection on. If you have, you do know that you go almost deaf for a few seconds. I mean, it's ringing in your ears. So you want to get yourself out there and feel it, get acquainted with these guns, and then, you know, work your way into your holster, work your way into, all right, practicing dry fire. And dry fire is just basically no bullets in the gun, taking it out, aiming, putting it back, taking it out, aiming, putting it back, squeezing trigger, putting it back, squeeze trigger, put it back. Make sure your gun is unloaded. Keep the magazine in another room with the bullets, because you don't want no accidents in the house, okay? So, dry fire, range, now you're ready to carry. Guys, if I were you, I'd get a nice belt, okay? This is an Amazon belt, but it's one of those tougher belts. I don't even know what the material you call this, but it's like a woven, very, very tight material. It's almost like something that the Army would use. I call them battle belts. You call it what you want. Because when I use a Kydex holster, I'm beating up on regular belts. So another belt, he's getting killed every day. And I'm scuffing it and I'm doing all those different things with that belt. But something like, you know, a belt like this, and especially because it has that clip, it's more secure. I'm not worried about it moving. I'm not worried about all those other little issues. I'm not worried about it breaking on me. And I'm out there riding. So get yourself a nice belt. Take yourself to the gun range. Get yourself a nice holster. Now, I will hit a little bit on bullets. And I don't like to really tell people what to go out and buy. But listen, there's people who ask me these questions constantly about why I carry this, why I carry that, why I carry that. Now, guys, you got to look at it this way. If you got a Taurus, G2, G3, whatever you have, that's pretty much like in this ball game right here. XDs and all that stuff, those are this ball game over here, and Smith and Wesson and all that, that's this ball game right here. So it doesn't matter what gun you have, it's pretty much comparable to one of these guns I got sitting on the table. Your Hellcats, all those little micro guns, before you buy it, squeeze that trigger on it, make sure that trigger is good for you, because I used to have a Ruger LCP, and man, the time that it took to squeeze that trigger all the way back, the fight's over. I don't need it no more. Whatever happens at that point. The trigger pull on a smaller gun has to be a lot further back. The gun was only about this big, remember, and it was a 380. I don't do anything under 9mm. I only have 140 caliber sitting here because I like all my bullets to really pretty much match up. And of course, the granddaddy over here, he's got to do his own thing. But guys, that's just the way I like to carry. I like to rock my guns. These are not show pieces. If something were to ever happen, the gun if we got in a situation, remember, the police are gonna take your gun. They're not gonna say, oh, okay, here you go, you can have your gun back. No, there's a whole investigation, there's a whole thing. Who knows how long that thing can take? So imagine if you're out there with a $2,000 gun, a 1911, something like that, that I know that if I ever had to get into something, I'm not getting it back, I wouldn't do that. I got buddies who do that. I got buddies who carry the best of the best when they're out there. And I don't blame them. I just can't afford to give it away. Now, my other expensive guns, they stay home. I'm not going to run the risk. I can replace a $600 gun, a $700 gun. I can kind of replace that. I'm not going out and replacing I almost said it, my expensive guns, because there's just no point. When guys talk about trigger squeeze and they talk about all those things, guys, remember, when you're in a battle, when you're in heat of battle, something's going on, something's actually happening, you're not going to feel it. Your finger's going to be slapping that trigger after all that practice you've been doing at the range. I get it. Let me give you one tip, one point of advice. When you grab your gun, you need to be practicing with one-handed at the range and then two-handed. One-handed and then two-handed, because if the situation happens, you don't know if you're gonna be able to get out there and do all those, the perfect technique, no, it's not gonna happen that way. So just get yourself in practical practice with your gun. And when you get home, dry fire. Take that magazine out, take that round out the chamber, put it in another room, and then begin to practice on the bed. Drop your magazine if you have to, pick it up, put it back in, and try it again. Now, bullets. Last but not least, the bullets. And like I said, no details. Look at that. That's ballpoint. This is a range round, okay? When you leave the range, do not leave the range with empty guns. That's first of all. But second of all, what they say about range ammo, ball ammo, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't stop once you shoot it. It goes on and on and on forever, and it hits 17 other people behind it, yada, yada, yada. Okay, that part of that is true. No, okay, not to say that let's try and do it, but if you are shooting, and I'll show you real quick, that round, these are like plus P ammunition. They're supposed to stop in the body, but what if they don't? What if you hit something that's just not gonna stop that, but it's gonna travel? So I'm not telling you to go out and run ball ammo on everything. I'm just telling you don't leave the range with an empty gun. And if you got time to change it back, then change it back and run your plus P or plus whatever ammo you decide that you feel like you want to run. Go check out other channels to kind of figure out which ammo you want to run. But my thing is, I will use whatever's in that gun, okay? Guys, if you got any questions, if you got any tips, leave it down in the comment section. I'm sure there's something I didn't go over. I keep all my guns pretty much stocked. in stock configuration, stock triggers except for one, but everything else is pretty much in the stock configurations. There might be a light, there's no slide work, there's no anything else. When I need it, I need it. It's gonna work the same way if I got a $1,500 gun that I do with a $500 gun. Guys, keep that in mind, but what you do want to understand, you will get what you pay for. So if you're buying that, I won't name any company, but if you're buying that gun that's a one-shot type deal, you know, you don't want to run into that risk, especially if you guys are one of those out of town, you take those long rides, you don't want any issues, okay? So guys, like I said, tips, comments, comment section, don't forget to subscribe. Like this video if you like it. I might come back and do a little bit more. I might even hit the range, I don't know. I'll show y'all guys what I actually can do with my firearms. Remain proficient at this stuff if you are one of those people that are gonna carry. And always make sure you carry where it's readily accessible for you. All right, guys, until the next time, peace.